All right! I love the future!
Yeah. Have you ever tried microdosing?
Yeah, that's what I do these days. I don't really take big trips.
Right.
Mainly actually because my life is so unstable and I just don't need the extra existential crisis right now.
So you're taking, what are you talking about, like a quarter of a gram or?
No, a microdose is like 0.1 of a gram.
0.1 of a gram.
It's below the threshold of psychological experience. Like if you take...
Really? So you don't feel it at all? It's
that's
just...
the point of a microdose.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, it's a subconscious...
Yeah, sub-experiential.
Yeah, sub-experiential, that's the word. So like... Up to 0.2, 0.25 is threshold for experience.
Right.
Where you actually start feeling it at a surface level.
Yeah.
So anything below 0.1 is a microdose.
Okay.
And like you shouldn't feel it, but it still imparts the psychological and physiological benefits of the mushroom. Basically, it links all the hemispheres of your brain at once. And according to Johns Hopkins University of Massachusetts, it stimulates the growth of the gray matter of the brain, which is where all your memory cells are. So like it literally expands your capacity for information storage. And it allows you to actually utilize the entirety of your mind. From my experience, I've found the most benefit actually coming down from the experience. Because like while all the hemispheres of your brain are linked at once, it connects up all these different horizons, right?
Right.
But then when you come down, I call it shedding. When the neural net sheds, it leaves behind the paths of least resistance. So like that's why it's so good at helping to shed old conditioning, break habits. It helped me break my cannabis addiction.
Interesting. Wow. Microdosing.
No, actually, this was when I was like taking ridiculous amounts.
Right. Okay.
Or at least it.
But that's what it's doing. Like it creates this like intense neural net.
Yeah, I mean, I used to be a very angry, frustrated person, and I feel that coming back into me now. But when I was dosing like really hardcore, I became like a much more calm, relaxed person, much more tolerant of tough experiences. Yeah, I mean, like I've said earlier, it negates the effect of serotonin in the brain, which also is really powerful when you come down because you've been using psilocin from the stomach as your serotonin. It creates a backlog of serotonin where it's blocked off.
Which floods in once you come down?
That's why it's such a powerful antidepressant.
Wow.
And that's why I use it every 2 days at a microdose level.
Okay.
Because it creates a buffer,
backlog,
a backlog of serotonin. And so like when you come down and the neural net sheds and you get all the serotonin flowing through, it puts you into this really positive mood.
That's how it works. Interesting.
I think they talked on Joe Rogan about serotonin, and the study was on crayfish, and like the alpha males that were like most dominant actually had the most serotonin, and then they were quite like upright and like I don't know how they measured this in fucking crayfish.
Yeah,
but,
right.
The ones that like weren't dominant and got like suppressed, they were more like hunched over and like had lower serotonin. And so like being upright and standing up tall and straight has an impact on your serotonin as well. Like when someone bullied me in school, or I was feeling sad, I would hang my head and like hunch and like protect my heart.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
My serotonin's low. Yeah, when you're feeling good, you're feeling positive. You stand upright and you present yourself open.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like that's how it can be really powerful for depression. And actually, I treated one of my friends using microdosing. I don't know. I didn't actually know him that well. I just could see the look on his face. He's like he wanted to kill himself. Like genuinely, I know that look.
So you saw that look and then you were like,
I walked up to him and I was like, yo. I've got something that you need. I can help you, and I gave him some mushrooms, and I told him to take 0.1 every 2 days. And a month later, he came back to me, and he was fucking radiant, like had this huge grin on his face. And he came up to me and he grabbed me. He's like, "You fucking saved my life."
And he attributes his results just from the microdosing.
Microdosing.
Wow, crazy. What kind of effects are you experiencing from microdosing?
I haven't been dosing that much regularly because my life's so unstable, and that's I mean realistically that's why I should be dosing. But like life gets in the way. But what I do find when I take it regularly is that I'm way more in tune with myself. I'm way more connected to the environment. My intuition is a lot stronger. That little voice of reason in your head that tells you, oh, don't do that. And you're like, no, I'm just going to do it. And then you get fucked up and it's like, well, I fucking told you. You know, you can hear that voice a lot more clearly. And there's less chatter in the brain that's unpicking you. You know, because it lowers the activity of the central nervous system, which shuts down a bunch of the functions of the ego. So it quiets that chatter in the mind.
Yeah, and brings in stronger signals.
Yeah.
Like from positive places, from helpful places.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, and it substitutes your serotonin. Like, these mushrooms grow in the winter when vitamin D and sunlight are low. It literally supplementing your serotonin. Because, you know, people get winter depression from lack of light and vitamin D.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's related to the serotonin cycle, right?
It's really good to take in winter.
Yeah, well, that's when they grow.
Right, oh, that's it. That makes sense, right?
And like, even like gourmet mushrooms, edible mushrooms that don't have psilocybin and psilocin in them still produce, or they store vitamin D. You know, so like eating mushrooms in general is actually really good for your health. They also accumulate minerals like calcium and magnesium, which are very soluble and very hard to retain. You know, mushrooms in particular are calcium and magnesium accumulators. You know, but they accumulate a whole array of minerals. You know, that they can mine directly from stuff you can't eat.
That's incredible, man. I'm totally sold. Fuck. What can we? I don't know. I was gonna jump to like another subject, but like I don't want to get off the microdosing like just yet.
That's cool.
It's such a huge subject.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It's so amazing. Don't know. I did just want to like ask you. You know, I'm kind of like inspired to kind of like support mushrooms around me, and kind of like I feel like I want to go and like plant some spores like in my garden, or like
You'll never
do
be
something.
working with spores, dude. I've
What?
I've done,
I mean, what
like,
should I do?
thousands of inoculations with spores, and in 10 years I've only grown mushrooms from spores 2 times.
Right.
And the second time I managed to do it was in a laboratory, and like I still like I made like 20 cultures and only 1 was successful.
Yeah, I've tried to
like growing mushrooms from spores is ridiculously hard.
I found like a magic mushroom like patch, and I've like dug like a whole piece of it.
That's live
out, which
culture.
is
That's different.
yeah, also not
So like
either,
in
but-
general, if you're cultivating any kind of fungus, you'll probably be working with live culture, because like for a start, the fungus has a head start on whatever media you're putting it into on spores, because like when a fungus germinates from a spore, it starts off as a monokaryotic hyphae, like a single cell filament.
Yeah.
It doesn't really have much enzymatic capacity to mine food. It must find a compatible hyphae where they touch, the cell wall dissolves, and the nuclei combine. That's the sexual mating of the fungus.
Nice.
And so, because it starts off as a monokaryote, it only has half of the genetic information needed to produce enzymes, mine food, grow mushrooms. So it has to join with another hyphae to form a dikaryotic mycelium. So like when you're putting live culture into a media, it has a way head start on any spore germinating, because it's got to like first find a hyphae that's compatible before it can actually like make any impact on colonizing the materials.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, oh, that's interesting.
But that's also why it's very hard to grow mushrooms from spores, because they don't have the same head start on other contaminants. You know?
That's true too. Yeah, they get easily like over-colonized by the things. Yeah, right.
But certainly, like you can get live culture from all kinds of websites online.
Well, I just want to get involved.
I will just say, I seriously do not recommend cultivating magic mushrooms. For a start, there is way more money in cultivating gourmet mushrooms, because the money's legit. You can put it in a bank account. But also,
that's a good idea.
If you get caught growing magic mushrooms, it's Class A offense. You will seriously end up in jail.
You're right.
Do not do it.
And you can't...
they grow wild for free everywhere around New Zealand. If you want to find them, do some research. Do your research, please. Do not eat anything you cannot taxonomically identify. Don't stick it in your mouth. It'll kill you. There are 2 types of mushroom hunters, smart ones and dead ones.
True story. And you can't like share what you're doing with your family and your friends openly. And it just becomes like kind of like just icky and messy.
Yeah, I mean, people ask me like, why don't you grow magic mushrooms? And I'm like, because I want to do it legally. I want to get legal dispensation to do so. And if I did that, without that, and I got caught, well, it would fucking ruin my life, and I would never get that opportunity to do the valuable research that needs to be done.
Yeah, definitely, man.
So I just want to make that statement and make that really, really clear to people.
Yeah, appreciate that, man. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's pretty good. There's probably a lot of people listening and just thinking like, oh, awesome, like let's go get this like plastic thing and grow magic mushrooms.
It doesn't work like that. No,
no.
You can grow oyster mushrooms. That's real simple, dude. Like oyster mushrooms are probably like the most fail-safe mushroom you can grow.
Right.
They're like so vigorous. They have the most broad enzyme profile. You can train them to manufacture novel enzymes. Like oyster mushrooms don't effectively grow on coffee grounds immediately. Like when I spawn into coffee grounds, it takes like a month for it to figure out how to digest the coffee grounds before it actually starts doing anything.
Wow,
but then once it does, it's like, oh, it goes nuts.
Man,
it learns how to manufacture the enzymes. And so because of that, you can train them to produce novel enzymes. One thing that I want to do with oyster mushrooms is oyster mushrooms are naturally active against E. coli and staph bacteria.
Okay. What's
Two of the
the
biggest
practical
problems in hospitals, E. coli and staph. These mushrooms have enzymes that are target specific.
And how would you implement that?
So imagine this was totally clean culture. Imagine there was no contamination.
Yeah.
Like this stuff. Eventually this will get over-colonized and it'll start to produce enzymes which come out like kind of a brown color. Now, I could take the lid off this thing, or maybe I've got a little injection site that's like a rubber thing that I can stick a needle through. So I've got a really bad staph infection in my arm, let's say. It's eating into my flesh. So we take some of that staph and we culture it up in a syringe, in a liquid culture, and then because this is, I'm just saying for the purpose of this example, this culture is not sterile. But for the purpose of this example, it is.
If it was, okay, yeah.
We incorporate this staph in this liquid into the mushroom, because like when it gets over-colonized, it forms this like kind of thick, fluffy material. You can kind of like make a depression in the top of it, so that it holds the moisture, because it's hydrophobic. It'll repel the water and it'll sit on top.
And you just inoculate it with
So I'm inoculating it with staph.
With your staph.
My staph.
Yeah.
This staph is genetically targeting my DNA.
Yeah.
So it has a genetic specificity to it. Blah, blah, blah.
No, you nailed it.
So I'm inoculating this container with that staph. The fungus recognizes that there's a new organism been introduced to its environment. It takes in the DNA of that organism and it manufactures compounds that are target specific to that organism to kill it.
Wow. And then you eat the oyster mushrooms?
No, you would then suck up that enzyme soup, because it produces all these enzymes. It dumps enzymes into the container.
Wow.
But it just manufactures them like, it doesn't just produce enough to kill the staph. It just like dumps the shit out of it. And then you could take that and use it as a tailored medicine. That's genetically designed for you personally. I mean, like, this is the problem with medicine currently, is we're getting microbial resistance to antibiotics. We have to be producing target-specific, genetic-specific antibiotics. Like, penicillin is the main antibiotic used. Penicillin is a fungus that grows on your bread. You know that blue-green mold that you find growing on your bread sometimes?
Yeah.
That's penicillin. That's where the chemical penicillin was originally isolated from. It's an antibiotic for humans.
Yeah, totally.
Oyster mushrooms do the same. Like, so do shiitake. They have like
that's incredible
antimicrobial properties.
Wow, they're so usable, man.
Yeah, where's those turkey tails gone?
The what?
The turkey tail sack.
Oh, here.
So in this bag here, I have some wild harvested turkey tails. Now, I'll pull some up for you guys to have a look at. Woo! Smorgasbord, oh yeah. So this is what they look like. I don't know if you can properly see. That's the underside of them. They're white.
Yeah.
They kind of look like a turkey's tail. They're kind of unmistakable. Gobble, gobble, gobble. So these mushrooms have a polysaccharide in them, a long-chain sugar. And supposedly, according to the information I've read, that polysaccharide has the ability to stimulate T-cell function, which is your one of the most critical parts of your immune system. So supposedly they have potential to help cancer patients because it stimulates the immune system. But also supposedly the reading that I've done has shown that they have potential to help patients with diabetes type 2 because the long chain sugar in this helps with blood sugar regulation.
I'm blown away. I don't know what to say, bro. I'm just sitting here just thinking like, fuck, Aidan's just so smart, man.
Oh,
like,
come on, man.
Dude,
Don't flatter me.
Man, I don't want to put you on the spot.
I just want to change the world, dude.
Yeah.
That's my personal mission at the end of the day. I want to leave the world knowing that I made it a way better place than when I came into it.
Man, no, I mean, I really appreciate your humility. You know, like that's always been something that I've always really, really liked about you.
Well, thank you. And I really appreciate that you can see that, and you know, I don't always feel like I'm the best person that I could be, and you know,
we're all just doing our best, man. But,
I just want to make an impact, man. It makes me like stressed out. Right? Like, I can't change anything. I'm useless.
I'm the same, bro. Yeah, totally. I've been kind of like working with imposter syndrome. You know what imposter syndrome is? Yeah. You know. So I've been trying to like kind of get my head like out of that zone because it's just, you know, self-destructive, you know, that whole thing that you can't help or you don't, you know, who are you to
who am I? I tell you who I am. I am.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Who am I? I am.
You are.
I just am, okay?
Yeah, definitely.
Just be. Do.
And what you have is what the universe needs. So
exactly,
you just got to do your thing, you know?
Yeah.
Bro, we're going to have to get you back for another interview.
I'd love that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, we definitely, there's just so much to delve into. I had this whole fucking list of shit
that we barely even touched on.
we haven't done anything. Nothing.
Well, maybe I've given you some more stuff to write down for the next time.
Definitely. Well, I mean, I think we should just have another chat. We should maybe fucking do something at KiwiBird.
Oh, yeah. Josh has his radio station set up. Do you know Josh Triple F?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, of course I do.
Paddock Radio.
Wow, we could maybe do something.
He's actually based at Tahinga Studios where I'm living.
Wow, I love Josh.
Come out
He's
and we'll do a broadcast now.
Okay, maybe
that'd be awesome. We could do a legit podcast.
That'd be great. Yeah, this is going to be split up into the audio. We'll definitely go into podcast and we'll put it up and stuff. But man, fuck, I just want to give you another hug, Brian. Just say thanks so much. Like,
it's been an absolute pleasure, dude.
You're so fucking smart.
You know, all this shit's just like swirling around in my head, and most of the people that I interact with just aren't interested. Like, I start talking, and then like within like 2 or 3 minutes, their eyes glaze over. And it's like,
what was it? I don't know.
Like, okay, I've said too much. I'm just gonna shut up now.
Nah, it's such valuable information, man. And I think especially like the fact that you're so motivated and passionate about mushrooms, I think is the platform for things to happen. You know, so I think just keep going.
I really lose motivation, to be honest, because like I've got all this shit I want to do, but I just don't have the outlet for it. And that just like, oh man, it can be really fucking crushing, I tell you what. You know?
Well, you're doing that business course, that's definitely going to help you. And
as they say in Israel, slowly.
Yeah, slowly. Oh man. Nah, you're doing great things. I feel like, you know, at the very least, we should catch up with you like every year so that we can just be like, what's happening now in the Federation? Like, whoa, you know? And,
man, I want to work a bit more closely with you guys than that, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. No, we will. I mean, we
got to get on that cordyceps hustle, man.
I've been trying
to find. I just haven't got out in the woods enough, man. I unwittingly took a photo of a native cordyceps because it just caught my attention, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And it was in Wellington.
As soon as you have your first batch, we're going to grind it up and put it into capsules and get it out there. So as soon as you're ready,
find it. But I need a lab to isolate it. I don't have a lab, so I got to like I got to build a lab.
Who has a lab? If anybody out there has a lab that Aidan can borrow for like a week, let us know. Let us know. All right, man. We're gonna wrap
it up.
So a few things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where can people go to find out more?
Oh, right. Where can people go to find out more, Aidan?
And can we close with another song, bro?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
All right, and we're going to close another song.
So if you guys want to get hold of me, you can hit me at thefungusfederation@gmail.com or go to the Fungus Federation Fungus Federation Ltd on Facebook. The Aidan, no, it's not the Aidan Kelly Project anymore. I changed it. It's just Aidan Kelly Music NZ, which is my music page. Again, Aidan Kelly Music NZ on Instagram, the Fungus Federation Ltd on Instagram.
Yeah.
We're hoping to get a website set up, and as I say, I've got 2 gigs coming up tomorrow, one at Love Bucket from 7 until 8, and then Portland Public House from 10 till 12. And then we also have our workshop where we teach you guys how to make these mushroom grow kits, which you'll learn how to continually replicate at home. We're running the next course on the 18th of August. We run them monthly, so get in contact with us, send us an email, hit us on Facebook, and yeah, get at us. Thanks so much for having me, guys. This has been an amazing platform. I really value being able to speak like this because, as I say, I find it really hard to find people that are actually interested.
No, definitely. No, it's great. Dude, we're gonna do this again.
Yes.
Awesome. All right, I'm gonna let you take the stage.
Yeah, bro, and just mention about we're gonna do some future.
Yeah, you guys should plug yourselves as well.
Oh, okay.
Plug it up.
The Future Nutrients plug. All right. Well, this was podcast / live stream / first interview. We're actually calling it interview. And we're going to be doing these as often as we can, at least once a month, maybe every couple of weeks. And
I'll leave these for you.
Oh, thanks, bro. Yeah.
I'm boiling for 15 minutes.
What else? We just want to. We're going to be talking to interesting people with interesting ideas and that are into enhancing and improving human potential. Yeah, it's pretty easy. I don't know what else to say. I feel like the value is in the guest. So
I think you guys have great value. You know, you're creating a platform for people to share their life-changing, world-changing abilities.
Well, that's something that I will say actually is you just reminded me was that one of the big things that I feel like we want to do is be a part of bringing in this kind of new way of being, human and how we have a relationship with the planet and everything. That's kind of what I think excites us the most, and being able to create a platform for people who are doing that to share and hopefully help other people and inspire other people to be a part of the change. Because that's what we need right now. We need all of us to just do our things,
Well, I think that's a really noble venture, and it gives a platform for people to connect with us, and that's not a platform that I've really been able to effectively utilize. I've had that platform, but not been able to effectively utilize it like I have been able to in this setting. Yeah,
definitely. This is a very interesting platform because it is so different. It is a lot more. I guess structured and geared towards sharing a message.
Yeah.
And it's just powerful. So we're just gonna keep building, getting the megaphone louder and bigger, and then hopefully having amazing people. But bro, again, dude, thanks so much. It was really, really, really good. Man.
I just want to say huge kudos to Future Nutrients for having me here. Really, really, really keen to come back. Maybe even in a month or so.
We could, why not? Why not? Part 2.
Keep it rolling. Keep it rolling.
Yeah.
All right! I love the future!